Hey guys, it's Dan here from Life Begins at 30, and in this video I'm going to go through 10 things that you need to be aware of before you go for your hair transplant surgery, 10 things that you should be aware of post that operation, and hopefully it'll give an insight of things that I wasn't aware of beforehand, and I should have put a little bit more research into my hair transplant before I went for it. But as you'll go through all the videos, I went straight into it after about a month's worth of research. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and let's get to it. So number one, probably the most important one that people are unaware of, and it's a big one, especially if you have a partner. No sex for 7 days, like zero. There's no way that you're going to be getting amongst your missus, getting amongst your fellas, ragging around the bedroom. Because that's just going to cause loads of sweat in your head, which will affect the hair transplant. So be aware, let your missus know, let your fella know that you will have to keep it in your pants for 7 days, like I did. This I was completely unaware of until I read the documents that I was given by my clinic. I should have looked into this really. My girlfriend didn't know at the time. So yeah, so no sex for 7 days, just remember that one. Big one, number two. For all you gym bunnies out there, no to the gym for at least 4 weeks. Now, I've read different cases and I've done a little bit of research myself onto this. I know people who've gone to the gym after 2 weeks. Me personally, I wouldn't say I was a 7-day-a-week gymmer. I do enjoy going to the gym, and I did stop for 4 weeks afterwards. I didn't want to risk it. I was warned off from it by my clinic and by other people. So that's another one. Make sure that you're aware that if you are a regular gym goer, okay, there'll be none of that for 4 weeks after your hair transplant. So put that into your schedule, also into your work life, especially if you're working with physical activity, or if you do quite a lot of phys, then be aware of that. Okay, number three. So once you've had your hair transplant, okay, you're going to be wandering around airports, train stations, driving around. People are going to stare, and you need to be aware of this, especially if you're self-conscious, which I know a lot of people are who are going for a hair transplant. Hence, they're going for the hair transplant because they're self-conscious of their looks. So be aware that people will stare at you because you're wandering around with a fucking black band over the top of your head, like here, and this whole area here will be all little red dots. The back of your head will have holes in it, so it doesn't look pretty. So if you could imagine maybe someone who's come off a motorbike and ripped their face apart, you're going to get stared at. So be aware of that, and if you are self-conscious and you are worried about people staring, it's going to happen. Which then leads me on to point number 4. People will randomly come and speak to you as you're coming home. So this happened to me quite like 3 or 4 times, I think, just on my journey back from Istanbul to London. And people are interested because a lot of people in Turkey are actually going for a hair transplant or some sort of other cosmetic surgery. So they will come up to you and ask you questions about what it was like. Was it painful? Did the anaesthetic hurt? How much did it cost you? Where are you from? Why did you do it in Turkey? So you do get a lot of these sort of questions that I didn't mind personally. I will speak to anyone when I'm travelling around. But I know some people are not very happy when random strangers come and speak to you. I had a lovely guy from LA who came and spoke to me and asked me all those questions, and I was happy to answer them. And he was super excited about getting it done as well. I mean, he flew from LA to Turkey, which to me is quite far distance, probably half the world. So yeah, be aware that you are going to get asked questions, you're going to get stared at. Okay, so this varies from person to person, but number 5 is it is going to be painful afterwards. You may only get a little bit of pain for a month. Okay, like me, I'm not in pain now if I lie here, but if I do touch my head, I'm still in pain. So not only do you need to know that this is a painful operation, you're having 3,000, 4,000 holes planted into your head, but if you then going straight to work after your hair transplant, if you're in a physical job, even an office job, it is going to be painful. So be aware of that. Maybe think about taking some time off work, a week or two off work after your hair transplant. You know, do it during, I know it's hard for people who are working with 20 to 30 days worth of leave or worth of holidays a year. So just be aware that you will be in a little bit of pain for the first, maybe at least month. It could last up to 3-4 months. I was not aware of how painful it would be for me. I don't know why it was so painful for me, but I have read that other people haven't had pain from the month. So do take that into consideration. You might be one of the unlucky ones. This one was a massive shock to me because everything that I researched, it wasn't the same as the itchiness that came out of it. So number 6 is incredibly itchy for like a good 2 months at least. Okay, I'm still itching my head all the time. It has died down. It all depends, I think, on the shampoos that you're using. I'm using the one the clinic gave me. It's still kind of itchy. It has in the past week gone down, and I have been skiing for the past week wearing a helmet. I thought it would get worse. It hasn't. It's actually got better. So, and this is coming to, 3 months or just after 3 months. So that's something else to take into consideration. You'll be itching your head or wanting to itch loads. The best remedy for it from my clinic was to use aloe vera. And I used aloe vera on the back, but it's then continued to be itchy on the top. I've heard coconut oils can be good. If you have any other remedies to stop the itching, please do comment below for other people who watch this video, and you can help them out as well. Okay, number 7. So it's not aesthetically pleasing for the first couple of months. And even now, it's not aesthetically pleasing, especially if you're starting to grow your hair. As you can see that mine, okay, it's still really thin. It doesn't look very good. There's random hairs everywhere. It sticks out. But not only that, if you look at the pictures now that I'll post up, for the first week, you look like someone's used a cheese grater on the top of your head and ripped it all apart. Not only that, it comes with swelling as well. So that makes me move on to number 8, swelling. Okay, and that comes after the first couple of days. So if you haven't booked off work and you're going to go to work with this hair transplant, with that bound around your head, after a few days, your head will turn into this. Now this is a picture from me, and like I've said in previous videos, okay, I blew up, I looked a bit like a space raider, it wasn't very attractive. There is no way that I would put this as my Tinder profile picture because I wouldn't get fuck all. So that is something else that you need to take into consideration, is the swelling that comes with it, not only the pain, itchiness, but swelling as well. Okay, so number 9. For the first week, you will hardly sleep. I don't know what it's like for others, whether you're allowed to take sleeping pills. Personally, for my job, I cannot take sleeping pills, so I didn't. I know some people can take Xanax, however I couldn't, and you have to sleep up with your head pretty much tilted in this direction here. That is probably the worst part of the hair transplant that I went through, is the lack of sleep for the first 7 days, and I'm so glad that I was off work for that. Work actually put me down as being sick because I have quite a physical job, so I was quite lucky for that. But if you are planning to go to work, you're going to be tired through the day because you're not going to sleep well at night. Okay, because you have to keep the top of your head off the pillow in case any of the grafts get stuck to the pillow and then you rip them out. And then it's just a waste of money that you have earned over the month just to pay for your new hair. So that's another one. Your sleep is going to be, you're going to have a lack of sleep throughout that first week, and you need to be aware of that. I didn't realise how annoying it could be having a hair transplant, and I didn't realise that sleeping in this direction with a couple of pillows behind my head, or what my clinic gave me was like a neck rest, so it stopped my head touching the pillows. It was probably one of the worst weeks of sleep for me in a long time. Okay, and then number 10. So this one actually was given to me by my missus, and she said make sure that your loved ones are ready and prepared for you to complain a lot, because apparently I complained a lot. So she wanted me to add this one to the end of it, and maybe she's right. I didn't think I complained that much. However, she said that I complained like a little bitch, and that I was always wanting her to look after me, and in my sleep not touch my head, yada yada yada, all that good sort of stuff. So yeah, make sure that your partner or your friends are aware that you will be complaining about your head being really itchy, your head being sore, you looking like a fucking thumb, you look like a dick, whatever it is. Okay, so be aware of that, and hopefully those 10 things there have helped a few people out into their research for getting a hair transplant. I hope you subscribe. Hope you like this video. Okay, I try and make it a little bit funny if I can. I will post another video probably next week about. I'll try and post weekly videos about hair transplants. I'll start adding other videos in there as well. And if I get enough comments below, then I will start doing half-month updates of my growth. So the next one will be 3.5 months in 2 weeks' time. Then it'll be 4.5 months. If that's what everyone wants, then I'll do that. So cheers for watching and have a good night.